I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now starting. Welcome to the
I had a whirlwind of a weekend. 4 Canadian girlfriends came into Nashville.
Aw.
And Nashville's so hard because when people come to Nashville, they want to get after it.
Yeah.
And I'm always the ringleader who goes, okay, let's friggin' go. I'll take you here. I'll take you here.
And you feel that pressure.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I got to show them the best times. And so we went to this, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a male burlesque show, but with, like, let me just show you a video of what was happening. I saw a man's wiener at one point,
Oh.
but it was also like wildly impressive. Look at
Is
this.
this your first time at this
Yes.
show? Oh my gosh. This is in Nashville?
To the cameras, to the people at home. Yes, in Nashville. And then there's this one, he's just holding on to his head.
Oh my gosh.
It's really impressive.
Do they step off the stage and make their way to the audience?
Some of them do, but it's like a whole skit. Like from the moment you get there and sit down. So this guy I know, his name's Chuck Wicks, and he's a country singer in Nashville. Doesn't it sound like just a country singer in Nashville? He was inspired in Vegas, and he's like, Nashville has nothing like this. Let's put something together in Nashville. So it's like you go in, it's theater style. You get popcorn, drinks, sit down, and it's starting. Like there's characters walking around already in character. Some of them are acting drunk, some are flirting, some are doing this. And they do this whole show for an hour and a half. And it's like really impressive. And it's called Shiners.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I've only spent a couple of times in Nashville, and there's so much to clearly. There's so much to learn.
I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it. And it was nothing like what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be like a Magic Mike show. But like the talent was incredible. They had a contortionist.
Cirque du Soleil.
It really was. They got
Oh.
it. One of the guys is from Cirque du Soleil in Vegas.
I see it.
Look how he was
they
having
travel?
a conversation with me after.
I'm like, do they come to LA?
No, they don't travel. They don't travel. You're just gonna have to come to Nashville. Like, look at how this one guy was talking to me on the couch.
Stop. Wait, is this like during halftime? What is this? This is after? This is backstage?
After the show, you go down into a club that has bottle service.
Stop.
And all the cast that comes around and hangs out and talks, and you get drinks, and it was the craziest. So we did
I know
that.
your girlfriends were like,
They
thank
had
you.
the best time. And then after that, they really wanted to go sing karaoke. So we went to this
Oh.
place called the Wild Beaver,
Mm.
where you ride bulls and sing.
And
so,
sing?
yes. And it was so busy. I was like, oh, God, here we go.
Now I understand why everyone has their bachelorette parties here.
Oh,
There's so much to uncover
The-
in Nashville.
it's actually bananas. There was probably 10 different bachelorette parties in this bar. And I had to wait like 2 hours to get up on stage. I felt very humbled. I was like, can I just pay someone to get me up there now? No? Okay. Sang Shania Twain. And then the next morning, Maggie, my assistant, goes, Kaitlyn, you know, you're flying out at 3 today. And I was like, what? I thought I was flying out tomorrow.
No.
And so I had to like do a little Cupid shuffle home and figure it all out. And then I got here last night, and for some reason I had mad anxiety. Like it was the first time, because I've been off social media for 8 days, and it was the first time that my anxiety was creeping in. And I was like, no. Because usually I only get it if I'm hungover or if I'm on my period. And I'm not either one of those things. And so I took a little thing called lorazepam. And I feel like I'm still in a dream.
Okay, so you
That's
have
what
like
I'm getting
that,
at.
that like buzz, kind of like that. Do you ever have you ever microdosed?
Yes.
It's like-
now I would like that feeling.
Oh, is that not the feeling
That's
you
not
have?
the feeling.
Okay.
This feels like I'm half asleep, like a couple brain cells missing from the weekend, and I don't know where I am or what time it is, and I'm just.
you're on the mend. It's okay.
I woke up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed this morning, did a workout, and now I'm like, ugh.
If it makes you feeling better, I can't tell.
Okay,
I'll try to keep you awake.
keep me awake.
I'll do my
Don't
best.
bore me, okay? Don't bore me here today. I'm so excited you're here. We
I
haven't talked in
know.
so long.
This has been a long time coming.
It really has been. I was trying to think of the last time we podcasted and I couldn't. But I have so much to just talk to you about or ask you about, because I'm like, first of all, how's Brian?
Brian's good.
Now, something that I found, and I talked to this lady who's a social media trauma counselor, and she talks about how pressure of relationships on social media can destroy a relationship
Yeah.
without even being in the public eye.
Yeah.
You're always feeling like you need to show everybody, how happy you are, and you know exactly how it is. And then it's just all amplified with social media. So I was telling her that I truly think part of the reason Jason and I have not worked out is social media played a part in that.
Yeah.
Whether that's, not like cheating or anything,
Yeah,
but just pressures or feeling like we're putting on like a performative show or just how have you guys dealt with that? Because I know that's something that, people always assume because you have your career and you're posting about your career and you
Yeah.
once in a while post about you and Brian, but you've always been a little more on the private side with that, which I
Yeah.
love, which I'm going to take notes about for next one. But how do you guys navigate that with all the pressure of social media and the noise?
We did it pretty quickly because for the very same reasons you said of like you do, especially when for us, we came off the show. For you guys, when you first got together, you feel the pressure like we have to show people, how we're doing.
Yeah.
And because they want that,
Yeah.
right? They fell in love with you guys as a couple and they want to see how you're doing and they want to check in and they don't always get that. And so, you feel like you have to perform. And I
Yeah.
remember being in public at like, I don't know, like a grocery store. And I felt like people were watching us, watching our conversation,
Body
watching.
language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a story that came out about like us waiting for an Uber and Brian was like walked away from me. And I don't even remember why he walked away. He might have
Yeah.
gone to throw something away. But
Maybe
they
he had a
blew the
little
story
toot,
up.
maybe
Yeah.
he had to go for a fart walk.
Yeah, let's out some air. That's what I always say. Let out some air.
Let out some air.
And they blew it up into this whole thing. And I just remember saying, okay, Brian, I felt anxiety
Yeah.
to have to perform for people I don't even know.
Yeah.
And they don't even know me. And then I'm only giving them a piece of what our relationship is, which, a relationship is up and down. Like you go through
So up and down.
seasons all the time. It is work. And
Hard work.
I just didn't want to do that. So very quickly,
That's good. You
we
realized
decided,
it quick.
yeah, we're only going to share what we want to share. But people still criticize us for that.
I know.
There were like months that went by where Brian and I didn't post, and everyone assumed that we were breaking up. They were counting how long it had been since we posted each other,
Yeah.
how long we had liked each other's posts. And I was like, I don't even pay attention. Like
I
I'm
know.
too present in real life. I'm a terrible social media person. I actually
That's
wish
so
I
great.
was better.
Yeah.
I do because I'm losing money.
Yeah,
Like,
I
to be
know.
honest.
But I've talked about that so many times where I'm like, losing money to keep your sanity with social media is like the best thing that you can do. But I totally hear you because they feel bachelor world, of course, they watch you fall in love and they watch you go through this. And then they do feel entitled to keep up with you. And I do feel a responsibility to share that because I'm like, oh, it's like our own little show now. Like they edited us and we can
Yeah.
now do our own thing. And I really loved sharing about it. I loved doing it with Sean. I loved sharing it with Jason. And now I'm like, well, that. I'm not doing
Don't
it anymore.
do it. Don't do it because you feel like you have to answer to every single thing. And I will be honest, I could make so much more money if I put
Yeah.
Brian and I,
Totally.
like our business out there.
Yeah.
But we share what we want to share.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it even more special. And I think that has probably contributed to some success
Yeah.
in our relationship.
Yeah.
I don't even know the last time I posted Brian.
As long as you're not concerned about it, nobody else needs to be concerned about it.
Yeah.
And you're saying like it keeps it more special between the two of you and sacred. And that's what I learned that was a big takeaway I had from this podcast I did with this lady, was she calls them inside treats. So if you say you and Brian had a song and it was this song that meant so much to the two of you, it was your song. And it was like every time you put it on, you like danced in the living room or something. And it was like this magical thing between you two. Well, then you share it on Instagram because you're like, oh, look how cute we are. This is so cute. People will love this. And then it takes away from that inside treat between the two of you. And now you are giving that special moment to a lot of people. And now they're consuming it as media. And then they get to, have a story about, okay, well, they did this, so they must be okay here. And that, like, it's just giving away those
Yeah.
inside treats. I just don't know if there's some sort of healthy medium or balance for me because I do love oversharing.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm like, how do I do it?
I don't.
Yeah.
It's almost odd that I went on a reality TV show because I am more private with my personal
Right.
life, which is why when people say, "Are you going to do another reality show?" I don't want people to know where I live,
Yeah.
who I hang out with, what I drive, where I just
Yeah.
I'd rather do something else.
Yeah.
I'll host a show.
I'm like all of the things you just said, and I'll host a show. I'm like, see, I want to like give a house tour. I want
No. But it's your personality, and I think that's what people love so much about you is that you are so inviting. It's a gift and a curse, right?
Yes.
Like people do get onto me for not sharing enough. Oh, it's just her career. And it's like, well, that's just what I'm choosing to give you.
Yeah, and that's there's so many different things in life of what like think of those people at home. They probably don't share anything, but they're
Yeah.
expecting to be in the know of everything in your life.
They feel entitled to it.
Entitled is a very good word to use for people on the internet. And I mean, I'm not speaking about all. Some are so, incredible.
Most
supportive.
are.
Most are. But that pressure, and I'm sure you feel the same way because how old are you?
38.
Me too. Oh, okay.
Mhm,
We're the same
mhm.
age. I think I knew that, but I forgot until I just got really excited.
Because it's rare in Bachelor Nation.
Yeah, it is.
You're like,
Everybody's so much
I
younger
know,
than
I
us.
know.
Except we're getting up there with Gary, the Golden Bachelor. I'm like, I was
We
more
are
connected
not.
to the women on his season. I got to host a date on it, and I was just like, these women are awesome.
oh, really?
Oh my God, they were awesome. Alrighty there, Vinos. Now step into a world of non-stop action on DraftKings Casino. You can play the classics like blackjack, I love blackjack, roulette, and slots, plus enjoy exclusive games that you can't find anywhere else. And right now, new customers can get a deposit match up to $100 in casino credits when you deposit $5 or more. 100 buckaroos. All you have to do is sign up, select the offer, make your deposit, and start playing from a full suite of games. Your way is the only way to play on DraftKings Casino. You can play online, on your time, in your space, and within your means. It's safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you're ready. So download the DraftKings Casino app now, sign up with promo code VINE, and new customers get a deposit match of up to $100 in casino credits when you deposit $5 or more, only on DraftKings Casino with promo code VINE. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Please play responsibly in partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Must be 21 years or older, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. One per opted-in new customer. Minimum $5 deposit. Max match $100 in casino credits, which require one-time playthrough within 7 days. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/players choice. Restrictions apply. Okay, you guys know how I love talking about therapy on this podcast, and I love talking about all things relationships. I also love watching reality TV, so put it all together and you've got the new official 90-day, the last resort sessions. It combines your favorite 90-day couples and couples therapy, so that sounds interesting. On 90-day, the last resort sessions from TLC, well-known couples from the show have reached their breaking points. They're all at a retreat in couples therapy, and at the end, they have to decide either to break up or stay together. So after each episode, the couples therapists who are actually in the room with the 90-day couples come onto the podcast to share what happened. So they give their takes on what the couples are each facing, what they're going through, and how to deal with issues of cheating, sex, and communication in your own relationships. So, I mean, everyone deserves a healthy relationship. So come for the drama and stay for the therapy, you know? Hey, I'll take the therapy whenever I can get it. So go listen to 90-day, the last resort sessions, wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, it was 6 years ago that you and Brian got engaged.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So what do you think the next 6 years for you two will look like?
Ooh, what I hope for are kids.
Yeah.
I hope that we work less because Brian's, has his practice out here. So if you are in that shameless plug, if you're in the LA
plug it
area,
away.
Go to Beverly Hills Disc and Laser Center. I think I got that name right. Get adjusted, get his treatments outside of that. It's great what he offers. But, he's by himself. So he's working super long days. I've actually taken a step back. We can get into that later, but taking a step back from work. But
Good for you.
now I'm in like a very lost where I'm like transitioning phase.
Mhm.
But I just hope that we have kids and I hope that we're focused more on, we're working now for something bigger. So I hope we've built the bigger and we can spend more time growing the family. That's really it.
I love that.
And like a little bit more stability. It's hard in this industry for you and me, not necessarily for Brian, but for us to have stability and feel comfortable. I feel like something you and I share is that we have this insatiable appetite to always be striving for more.
Yes.
You never want to feel comfortable in this industry because there's somebody, younger, more
Yes.
talented, prettier,
Yep.
coming up.
Yep.
And it's hard to feel confident in what you bring to the table when you're seeing all this other stuff out there. So I hope that I find some balance in that.
That's so, that is going to inspire me to feel the same way because somebody just asked me earlier today, they're like, you've got a lot going on too. And I'm like, I want more.
I want more. We are never satisfied, ever.
I'm like, I want more. Why? If I'm not pushing myself to the ground, like, then I'm not doing enough.
Exactly.
And it's so hard to not have that mentality because it really is who we are as people. But a healthy thing to do is, take a step back, realize what really is going to make you happy, and somehow try and find balance, even though I don't believe in balance. But that's another thing that, now I'm single. It sounds so weird saying that. 38. And now I'm like, well, when the am I going to have a family? Like, and it breaks my heart because not only is there pressure, so much
I
pressure
know.
from the, not even just the outside world, but your own body. Like, I
Yeah.
feel pressure from my
Yeah.
own body to be like, bitch, you can't really do this in like too many more years. And then it's
Yeah.
scary. So I don't know. I'm like, I feel like obviously so many things in life are changing and women are having babies later in life. And I do think that's incredible because we're able to chase our dreams, go after our careers, have our
Yeah.
moment, and then be ready to even show up as a better mother. But I don't know when it's going to happen for me now.
But you know what? It because I feel like what makes us great is because we are always striving for more and for, to better ourselves. And I think, are you an impatient person?
Very.
Okay, I'm extremely impatient and I'm
So
a
impatient.
control freak.
I'm not a control freak, but I'm extremely impatient.
Well, that's good you're not a control freak.
I'm a control freak with myself.
Okay.
But not other, like I'm a control freak on, no, I wouldn't even say that. No, I'm not a control freak.
See, I am with myself, but also with situations that I am attached to.
Mhm.
I want to be, and when I fear that I'm losing control, I'm an Enneagram 8. So when I feel I'm losing control,
Yeah.
it makes me go crazy.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm working on in therapy.
Yeah. Bless.
Pause for therapy.
Yeah.
I'm working on that and realizing this is something my therapist said to me. He said, and I'm speaking this to you about because I feel the pressure. Like I'm 38. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I don't even have eggs frozen.
Right.
So it's just a lot. And he's telling me as I'm in this transition phase, this is truly, and this is so scary to think about, the first time that I've ever actually had time to be still and deal with my reality. I've always escaped it through work.
Yep.
I've never had to really worry about money.
Yep.
And now that I have my only job right now is podcasting, really.
Yep.
That I have way more time on my hands and I'm freaking out. I still wake up at the same time every morning like I'm going into work.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what do I do with my day? Who do I need to call? Who do I need a message? Who do I need to have a meeting with? Rather than dealing with, okay, this is a gift
Yeah.
that you have time and you have space and you can actually figure out what's next and what you want. But it makes me so uncomfortable.
I get that. I mean, that's what therapy will tell you all the time is to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable. And
Hate it.
I know you're so good at it with work though. And it's just the life balance of being present with yourself and being still and not hustle, go, 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 because it really does force you to go inside. And I've learned so much about that too, because I feel like I'm in the same position. I'm like, okay, I've got my podcasting and my wine label and I'm closing down due. So it was profitable. It was amazing. And I'm like, I'm a failure.
No,
No, it's so stupid.
I know.
And then,
I know what you mean.
so in therapy, it was so interesting because my therapist told me, that my self-doubt, she's like, you have this confidence where and your intuition is, but you self-doubt that and then you go backwards. And then because of your self-doubt, that helps you create a scenario that doesn't add up, but it puts blame on something else. And you just go, well, I'm just going to go back on Instagram or do this.
Yeah.
I'm numbing instead of being like, okay, why do you do that, Kaitlyn? Why don't you trust that gut and that intuition and that confidence? Because I have it.
Mm-hmm.
And some days it's really there. And some days I go, oh no, you piece of shit, you suck.
But I do the same thing. And I like to talk about that because people are like, oh, you have it so together. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm such a hot mess.
Yeah.
So for you go to Instagram. For me, I'll just leave the city and go hang out with friends, or
Yeah.
I'll, I don't know, go not out to the club, but like go to dinner and
Oh,
like let's
yeah.
go grab a drink or
Yep.
let's go to a concert, and I distract myself because I don't want to deal with whatever it is I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I hate to be uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable now. Like
Yeah.
in life, I'm in a very uncomfortable space.
And is that because you don't know what's next, or is it
Yes.
yeah. So what did you step back and step away from to give
Extra.
yourself? Oh, so you're not with Extra anymore.
I have like 10 more days. I'm not full time. I haven't been
Okay.
full time since June. And part of that was I needed to step back because it's a very chaotic schedule. And then part of that was knowing my worth and not seeing
Yeah.
it recognized in the space
for
that I was
you.
in. And that took me a long time to admit.
Yep.
And it's probably the first time I'm ever saying it out loud publicly. But I needed to do that for me.
Good for you.
And so 3 years there, like I've like 10 more days, 10-day countdown
Yeah.
from
it's
today,
on.
whenever this comes out. And yeah, so that was a huge part
Yeah.
of my schedule.
Yeah.
But I've been able to focus my energy more on things that I'm passionate about,
Yeah.
like with my podcast and the topics that we cover, and figuring out what does the next step look like. But
Right.
that's scary because for 3 years,
Yeah.
I didn't have to think about it. I was
Right.
just on autopilot, and I'm not on that anymore. So yeah, Extra has changed for me. I'm not. If anybody follows me on social media, hopefully you do. I'm barely posting. People have been writing,
Yeah.
"Are you okay?"
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
now people think that it's my relationship.
Of course.
And I'm just like, I'm just very present.
Yeah.
I've been traveling. I've been seeing family. I've been with Brian's family. I was on a ranch for 4 days where I was completely detached. It was adult camp. It was
I
in
want that.
Texas in the middle of nowhere. It was the most fun thing that I've ever done
I
in a long
want
time.
that. We feel so much pressure to be doing and showing what we're doing, and like even everything you just said, you're doing it for like yourself, but you're
Mhm.
expected to share that.
Expect
When
it and I
it's-
haven't.
You probably are enjoying it more from not sharing it. That's not being on. So I haven't been on social media in 8 days, and I keep being like I'm okay.
You're not
Like,
missing a thing.
I'm not missing anything.
Mm.
I truly feel way more present in conversations I'm having and things that I want to go out and do. I'm exercising more. Like I just feel like I'll go back, but my question to you is how do you go back with a more clear and healthy mind? Because you've done that a few times, like after all the shit you had to go through.
Yeah.
You took some time off social media.
Yeah.
How do you enter back into a world? Because I'm going to enter back into that world, and they're still all going to be waiting there expecting answers about what happened with me and Jason.
And you don't give it to them.
No.
That I really think that's what it is. Like
Yeah.
when I came back, when I took the last break, which I feel like I'm overdue for, like really detaching. I'm on social media. I'm just not posting social media.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Gotcha.
I can feel myself when I go back into a phase of you're looking at it too much.
Yes.
I'm usually good at self-checking, but again, I have more time. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes.
I think it's an ease into it, but truly sharing what you want to. I remember when I came back,
I want to share everything.
you share it with the people that are present.
Okay. Oh,
And
yeah.
then I think that your audience too will appreciate, like, you're just giving them enough. They're rooting for you regardless. You have such loyal fans.
I'm like scared they all hate me right now.
No, they don't. I think people appreciate the fact that you're taking time for you and to figure things out.
Yeah.
And then admitting you don't have it figured out yet.
I know I don't.
And when you decide that you want to get back on social media and log in, just don't feel like I have to tell people every second of my life.
Right.
Maybe it's just posting photos instead of stories,
Right.
you know? And maybe it's pictures instead of videos.
Yeah, like I want to help other people that might be going through. So that's my problem too.
That's
is
your
I
podcast.
That's true. But then I sit here and I feel like I'm being mean to them because I'm like, I don't know you anything. And then I'm like, but I'll tell you everything on here.
but you know what the good balance is? You're like, it's not everybody, it's just a few.
That's true.
You know what I tell people? When they're like, you don't show Brian. I'm like, but I talk about him all the time on my
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tune in. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tuesdays and Fridays
Such a good
episodes drop, and
point.
I'm telling you
That's a good
about my
point.
life on my podcast. You really get to know me in those spaces, not social media.
That's so true. This really is the place to come to.
Mhm.
Where and it's all people who want to be here for you because it's an hour.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get all the trolls on here that you're going to get the
No.
supporters.
And maybe people will like hate listen, and that's great. We'll take those
I'll
listens.
take the hate downloads.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. I guess I do still get those. Sometimes I'll hear a comment and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you listened.
Exactly.
Cute. Thank you.
Appreciate the support.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna ride this out because I feel so good, and I might get on tomorrow. I might get on a week from now. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. Also, you're polarizing, and I say that in the best way. I think it's great to be polarizing because it means that you're just not telling people everything that they want to hear.
Yeah.
You're just being yourself, and
Yeah.
people either like it or they don't.
Yeah.
And obviously, majority like it,
well, I feel
which
like,
attributes to your success.
especially now that two of my exes from the show, the main exes, are both having babies, and I'm going through a breakup. I feel like they're like, we need to hear your thoughts.
But you don't have to.
No.
If you want to know, like, follow them and
Yeah.
see their journey of having.
The only
Of course, you have thoughts.
My gosh, do
We
I
all
have
do.
thoughts?
We all do.
Did you know that hair thinning will happen to approximately 1 in 2 women? Now, if you listen to my pod or follow me on Instagram, you know that. And I know it all too well, which is why I use Nutrafol, have been for 3 years. There are multiple root causes of hair thinning, and Nutrafol addresses them through a whole body approach to hair health. So I've been integrating Nutrafol into my routine, like I said, for 3 years now, and I've seen the results for myself. I will always be on it, I think. I love it. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve visible thickness and strength, and they support healthy hair growth from within by targeting root causes of thinning like stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism. And Nutrafol is actually available in vegan formula as well, so their newest supplement is formulated for women ages 18 plus with plant-based lifestyles who are experiencing signs of hair thinning. In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol Women's Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months. So do what I did. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering my listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code VINE. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code VINE. Nutrafol.com, promo code VINE. Okay, so these days it seems like everything is a subscription, which can, I'll admit, be really convenient. Well, up until you forget to cancel and then you're being charged for months and it all adds up, and they make those subscriptions really tricky to cancel. So I make Rocket Money do it for me. They blew my mind. Over 80% of people have subscriptions that they've forgotten about, and I'll admit I was part of that stat. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Now, most people, myself included, think they're spending $80 on subscriptions when in reality the number is closer to $200. So when you're signed up for so many things like streaming services you used to watch one show, or like free trials for delivery you don't use, it's so easy to lose track of what you're paying for. And Rocket Money also lets you monitor all your expenses in one place, recommends custom budget based on your past spending, and they'll even send you notifications when you've reached your spending limits. I need that in my life. With over 3 million users, I'm one, and counting, Rocket Money customers have saved on average $720 a year. That is a lot of money. So stop wasting money on things you don't use, cancel your unwanted subscriptions, and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/OTV. That's rocketmoney.com/OTV. rocketmoney.com/OTV. I wanted to quickly talk about Bachelor franchise because I know it played obviously significant role in your life, but I love how you're not afraid of holding anybody accountable. I love how you're not afraid to just completely remove from the show and still find your own success. I love it. And I love that you don't watch, but you'll still support people from the show. And I think that's another healthy boundary that you have, another healthy relationship to still say, I can support from afar. I don't have to watch. I don't have to support certain things. I can support certain human beings. And I think that's incredible. Have you talked to Charity?
I have not talked to her personally.
Okay. She's an angel.
I hear nothing but lovely things.
Yeah.
I tried to see her. The schedules didn't work.
Yeah.
At old Carrie's.
Oh,
My dear Carrie's. And it just didn't work out like with the scheduling. But I will probably reach out to her when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea. I feel like, she's too pure for that world.
Well, I hope that the audience is good to her.
I have been watching out for it and asking around because I feel very protective of her just as a human being. Like, she is a sweet, rare bird. And they have been really I don't know fully, but from what I see, so supportive.
Well, they need to
Yeah.
because they asked me to come to Men Tell All.
Oh, they did.
There's a confession for you.
Okay.
And I said,
And you said, hell no.
And I said, well, I was like, it's got to be worth my time.
course.
Because I can talk to charity. I
Yeah.
don't need public space. Like,
Right.
you know how they asked us to do videos and stuff for charity?
Yes.
And I actually was like, is it going to be a personal video just for her to keep? Then I'm more than happy to do it.
Right.
But I don't want you using it for the show just
Right.
because of everything that's gone down.
Of course.
So I'm so willing to have a personal relationship with charity, but I don't need to come on the show and you use me because you want to use me.
Yeah.
But so it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But everybody has a price, you know. So
Absolutely. Well, you said earlier, you know your worth too. That's
yeah.
that's work, and that's putting yourself in a situation that you got to do it for, if the money's right, sure.
Right.
Because help me help you, but
Right. And it wasn't.
Yeah,
So
and it
I
wasn't.
said no.
Yeah, 'cause-
I can do that on my own with charity. But I
Yeah.
think that, when you see Men Tell All and you see that not one lead of color was there for charity, you better get it right with her because
Yeah.
none of us want to come back for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I can't speak to specifically Michelle's or Tasha's, but they don't want to come back.
Right.
So,
yeah,
get it right with charity.
yeah, exactly. It feels like they've missed every opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
is what it is.
It is what it is.
If I was going to come back for anybody, it was charity. So that ship has sailed.
Yeah, well, the budgets are down, so they can't afford Rachel Lindsay anymore. I told you this last time, but your podcast, Higher Learning, is just incredible.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
I love the social clips, even like the whole podcast in general. I everything about it. You cover so many incredible topics. But what has been the most surprising or eye-opening topic that you've discussed on the show so far, and how has it impacted your own perspective?
Oh my gosh. There have been so many, and right now we're stepping into 2024, so it's a whole political season. But I will talk about something that happened recently. There is a lot of tension between Black and Jewish people, whether it's been somebody who's prominent that's Black who has made like terrible anti-Semitic comments towards Jewish people. And then you see on social media, there's this strong reaction from Black people. There's a strong reaction from Jewish people. And it's like, back during the civil rights, there was a lot of togetherness where they were marching hand in hand, supporting each other because of what Jewish people have gone through. And then obviously what Black people have gone through in this country specifically. And so it's like, where did it happen where this relationship became so fractured? And most recently we spoke about Jamie Foxx saying something that was like what Black people say all the time, and it was taken out of context by a Jewish newsletter, and then Jennifer Aniston blew it up by reposting it and calling the comments
Oh, wow.
anti-Semitic. And you're off social media, so maybe this is something that you missed.
Yeah, I
But-
definitely missed this one. Yeah.
See, you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
But it was something that we talked about, and we brought on a friend of the podcast, Dr. Rabbi Ari Lamb, and he spoke to his positioning of it. And he's an Orthodox Jew. That's what he practices. And he gave this perspective that was from the perspective of Orthodox Jews versus Jewish people who don't practice in the same way.
Right.
And obviously, he's a rabbi. He's, as we quoted, a 38 out of 50. He's like the 38th most influential Jewish person in the country.
Oh, wow.
And people were upset. They were up in arms. And obviously, I'm Black. I can speak to Black culture more than anything else. We brought him on because when we are not experts on a topic,
Right.
we
You wanna
bring
bring someone
someone
in.
who can speak to
Yeah.
that. And a lot of Jewish people who, we have a lot of Jewish listeners, they aren't Orthodox. They were so upset because they were saying that he othered himself and made it look like they do something one way and those other people do something,
Oh, no.
other Jewish people do something this way. And so from that, I learned, like, you don't know what you don't know, but there's so much more to know.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like the expert that you bring on might offend your audience, and there's more for you to learn about the culture.
Yeah.
And, like just in the same way we say Black people aren't a monolith, neither are Jewish people. And it was a
Right.
really eye-opening thing. So when we came back to the next podcast, we had to apologize and say that was our fault. We didn't realize that we were offending a whole sector of our audience. And so now we want to bring another expert on to speak to that.
Wow.
So I think that's the beauty of the podcast. Like, we're not afraid to go there about, a topic that may be taboo. We want to get down to the bottom of how we can repair a certain relationship, but we're also not afraid to say when we did something that was wrong and how can we make it better.
Yeah.
And that opens up even more conversation, which I think is the
because
whole point
that's
of podcasting.
relatable. I mean, like we all need to learn about so many things in life. And the way to do it is sometimes by making mistakes. Sometimes you make mistakes to have to learn a really hard lesson.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to be wanting to learn. And that is why your podcast is so great, because you do all of those things. So
Thank you.
that's cool. Where do people find your anywhere they find podcasts?
Anywhere you find podcasts, new episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday.
It's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good. So you're stepping away from Extra, but we got to talk about who has been your favorite interview from there so far, because holy shit, Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan, who it's like I consider him not a friend, but friendly. No, because he's so great. He's so down to earth. He's so encouraging. He catches the podcast here and there, which is great. I think that's what's also been cool when I'm interviewing someone and they're like, "Oh, we love the podcast." I'm like, "Wait, you don't know me as this person, interviewing." And I think those type of moments gave me the confidence to feel like I can step away from this, because it is hard. The access that you have to celebrity, the interviews, the exclusive interviews that you're getting, and to do that for 3 years, you feel like that's your identity. And to realize it's not is also a very powerful moment.
Yeah, because that's probably the thing that fills your cup the most too, is doing the podcasts. Like that's probably where, it's always impressive to go out and be a host and interview people and do that job as well. But I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that podcast is what is important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like it's not just passion. It gives me a lot of purpose.
Yes.
And like there's, because you have your own community, there's just like nothing better than being able to create a community. And then when that community goes off and does their own thing without you, it's like, look, it's like my babies. It's so great.
I know.
But I think Brad Pitt is still one of my favorite interviews. I've never blacked out in an interview except for that one.
My God.
And Rihanna. Those two are still.
God. I'm obsessed with it. Brad Pitt, what did he smell like?
I was stopped up.
Oh, damn
it! I had a sinus infection. I almost canceled. I felt
Brad
so
Pitt.
sick. I had a sinus infection.
Imagine canceling on Brad Pitt.
I know. I have no idea what he smelled like. I was like a goofy kid in that interview. But
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one.
I don't. When it was over, I turned to my producer and I go, "What happened? What did I? Was it okay? Did I? I mean,
it's Brad Pitt,
and you step into this bubble, and he really is disarming, very inviting, so lovely, and was having a good time. And it's like, I had Bad Bunny right after that, which was also great, who I think I was still in a daze when I was like, "So you're going on tour. How do I get tickets to the concert? I need tickets." I just was like on a Brad Pitt high.
I get on a Brad Pitt high just from like watching him in an interview, because he just seems like he is easygoing, nice, humble, down-to-earth kind of guy.
Yeah. There have been so many good interviews, and I will miss that. I will miss the hustle and bustle of a red carpet, but it really was time for me to go.
I'm glad you knew that, and I'm glad you did that for yourself.
But I'm like, should I have?
Yes.
I'm like, I don't know if I
you
should
actually have. Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I
My
should have done
whole
that.
body just said yes. I feel like deep down in your gut this is the right thing.
I know, but man, is it hard.
It's the ego.
It's the ego.
Yeah.
100%.
It's the ego.
100%.
Are you going to write another book?
I don't know.
When did your last book just come out?
In March.
Oh,
The
okay.
fiction. And I'm
that's a
hoping
big
to turn that into something. Oh, I had help. You know me. I'm like, I will tell you.
I would be the same way.
I came up with the idea, the concept, everything. Oh my gosh, look at this. There's an eyelash attached to my 2 little guys. She is not okay. I am. This represents the struggle. It is. I was like, I touched it and I was like, is that glue? Oh my. This is me.
What
Hanging on by.
What did the bracelet say?
Strong AF and grateful. And I wear a good energy one, but I couldn't find it, which makes me feel nervous when I can't find my good energy one. Shut up. Kaitlyn, oh my God.
Good energy.
No, you have to take this.
No.
I feel weird when I don't have my good energy one. Thank you.
Yeah,
I know
I'll
you're
get a new one.
You're and it actually really, it goes exactly
It
with
looks
my
really
grateful
nice.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
That
I
was
can't
meant to
believe you
be.
had this on.
See,
I
you
might
were
cry.
You were supposed to find that little eyelash stuck in there because then you were like not having the good energy. And I will take that as good energy.
Do you find eyelashes in rain? Or do you do
Everywhere.
extensions? Okay.
No, I find them everywhere. Actually, my girlfriend, when we were out the other night, we were in the Uber on the ride home from the cab. She said, or cab from the bar. She said I was in the front seat, pretty intoxicated, and I was just pulling off my eyelashes and then looking over at him and making sure he didn't see it, and then just putting it in the car door, and then just like pulling it up
It's
again.
the sign of a good night, but also that the night is over. But I don't know what that was. I mean, I know the purpose was for you to pass this on, which is thank you so much.
That's now you have the good energy.
I love my good energy one because mine has like the third eye on it.
Yeah.
I don't know where that thing is. I'm sending you one. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll just do. It will be like
Thank
the
you.
traveling bracelets of the sisterhood.
The
whatever.
yeah. Traveling.
But I do want to. You are you going to try and turn your book into a movie?
I want to do movie or TV.
Yeah.
Not sure yet. Obviously, with the strike, which we support our
Yes.
writers and
Yes.
our actors right now.
Yes.
Everything is on hold, but it is an idea that I was working on prior to the strike. But I'm not working on it now
Yeah. No, we
because I'm
support.
respecting that.
Yeah.
But I have some other ideas. I am big on turning life experiences into something scripted.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the next thing for you. You're writing about this experience because I'm telling you, there is somebody who's 38,
Yes.
hasn't had their children, successful, checking all the boxes, not getting something else that they want in their life, or maybe is like too afraid to take that jump. That's why I wrote my memoir, because that was
Yeah.
me, why I decided to go on The Bachelor. I was too afraid to leave everything that I've known and step outside that box.
Yep.
So maybe it's a book of essays for you writing that next. Maybe it's turning it into, maybe you're scripting this next phase of your life. I'm
Can
trying to
Megan
look-
Fox play me?
Yes, she can. Yes, she can. I'm looking at everything that happens in my life as a creative outlet.
That's brilliant.
I feel like I'm going to get through because I'm obsessed with, like, have you seen The Trouble with Fleischman?
No.
Or
Should I?
Fleischman in Trouble. Totally just rewrote that into something else. It's Fleischman in Trouble.
Okay. No.
It's so good. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Claire Danes.
I love her.
She's incredible in it. And then there's a movie called Somebody I Used to Know with
Okay.
Allison Brie. Dave Franco, her husband, directed
Yeah.
it. Jay Ellis. Both of those, the one's a show, one's a movie, are about dealing with reflecting on life. And it's kind of like you wake up and things aren't where you thought they were going to be. That's
Yeah.
not, they don't wake up, but certain things lead them to
Yeah.
a place where one goes home, one has like something traumatic happen to them, and they're looking at the characters throughout this show and this movie are saying, like, what if I had done this? Or, is this where I'm supposed to be? And
Yeah.
just like questioning life decisions. And I'm obsessed with that lately.
Yeah.
And baby, that's the place that I'm in my life. It sounds like you are
That's
too.
definitely where I'm at in my life.
But watch those
Okay.
and like, I don't know.
Maybe I'll get inspired.
And get inspired. Like I would soak up whatever comes out of what you're going through right now.
Yeah.
I want to read it. I mean, I feel like my therapist said something like that where he's like, because whatever I was saying to him, he was like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about public perception and
Yeah.
he's like, you will be fine. I'm like, yeah, but that just sounds like a platitude. And he's like, no, but you will. You've been at another place in your life where you
Yeah.
thought you couldn't get through it.
Yes.
And years later, you're like, what was that? I'm on the other side of it.
Yes, because you're stepping away from something that's going to give space to align with something else that you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just in the in between, and you still have an incredibly successful podcast to end crushing it. So,
You
all
do.
the things. Okay, well, I love you.
I love you too. We should do this more often.
I
What
know.
are we doing?
I know.
I'd like to talk to you about some things
I would
off mic.
love to talk to you about some
Off
things
mic.
off mic.
I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now ending. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't mind a rating and review.